and this is kind of the next topic I want to pivot to, because I think the SEC West is wide open. And if LSU wins out and Ole Miss gets another loss, then LSU is in the SEC championship. But I'm just telling you, Paul, with Max Johnson at quarterback, there's a different flow to what's going on at Texas A&M. And for me, as we wake up here on Sunday, October 1st, if I was doing an SEC West pecking order, I would again put Alabama up 1, even though they still do it ugly. And I'd put A&M at 1A, and they play this weekend. I think A&M's a completely different team with Max Johnson at quarterback.
Yeah, and I felt like that as I was watching the Arkansas game, I was thinking, if A&M wins this game, watch out, because they need momentum, and they have it now. They've beaten 2 very average teams, but they've gotten out of it what they needed to get out of it. Some momentum zipping into Kyle Field Saturday, where I think the feeling at A&M, and I was there a week ago, is that we can beat Alabama. And this is not 2 years ago when it was a pipe dream that they handed. I mean, they know they can beat Alabama, because Alabama's defense has been fantastic. Their offense has moments. But this is going to be a different challenge than Ole Miss. But I agree with you. Max Johnson is dialing it up, and we've seen it before, where the guy that we didn't talk about comes in and maybe leads the team to something special. Yeah,
and I would say A&M's defense is why.
Right.
I think they have a shot to win the West, because you hit on it there. Alabama's offense has been okay. So if you've got a defense it's really good against an offense that's okay, then what's it come down to? It comes down to which offense can find a way to make a play on both really, really good defenses. And here's Alabama. I haven't seen Saban lose his mind like that repetitively in a game in a long, long time, like he did last night. But again, we say they do it ugly. They beat Mississippi State 40-17. Milroe can make a play go from nothing to something. Look, the big takeaway for me in the month of September, Georgia out east. They've got Kentucky this weekend, which I think is going to be a little bit tougher game than people thought. But the SEC big picture, Paul, am I wrong to say that we don't know enough to know enough about, maybe other than Georgia, who looks very gettable, that this conference is for the taking?
No, it is. And I think from, not to obsess over Georgia, because I still feel like they're the number 1 team in the country. And I know it's easy to argue that point, but you're welcome to it. But I don't want to give too much credit to Auburn, because they're not a good team at all. But Georgia has Georgia let that game drag on, and to its credit, it delivered. And that was real pressure.
Yeah,
having to deal with Jordan-Hare Stadium late in the afternoon, knowing that a mistake could blow your whole season apart. I mean, it's not like, okay, it was in the bag. It wasn't. And thank goodness for Brock Bowers, because he pulled that team out in a way that was simply magnificent to watch. But Georgia, the Kentucky game, being in Lexington over the weekend, they're good. I think the bigger story there is Florida, but we'll get to that in a second.
Give me something I can feel. Light a cigarette.